My child listening to these words today, who has quietly wondered if heaven has forgotten your name, if your prayers have somehow disappeared before reaching God's heart, or if the promises you once believed were only dreams that would never become reality. But the Lord wants you to hear this message with faith and with confidence, because He says, "My child, the delay is over, and what I have been preparing for you is closer than you can imagine." You have counted the days, the months, perhaps even the years of waiting, and there were moments when your heart became weary because every time you expected the answer, another closed door appeared before you. You watched other people move ahead while you remained where you were. You celebrated their blessings while quietly asking me, "Lord, when will it be my turn?" If that question has lived in your heart, know that I have heard every whispered prayer, every tear shed in the darkness, every sigh that no one else noticed, and every moment you chose to trust me, even when you did not understand my plan. I have never abandoned you. I have never looked away from your struggle. I have never stopped working on your behalf. My silence was never my absence, and your waiting was never my rejection. There are seasons when I move quickly, and there are seasons when I build deeply. The greatest blessings I give are often the ones that require the greatest preparation, because I love you too much to place you in a position before your heart is ready to carry it. If I had answered every prayer the moment you prayed it, you would have received some blessings before you possessed the wisdom, humility, strength, and faith necessary to protect them. What looked like a delay to you was actually my loving preparation. Every difficult day has been shaping your character. Every disappointment has been teaching you dependence upon me instead of dependence upon circumstances. Every obstacle has been strengthening spiritual muscles you did not know you possessed. I know there were nights when discouragement whispered that nothing would ever change. I know there were mornings when you forced yourself to smile while carrying silent burdens that no one around you could see. I watched you continue to believe when giving up seemed easier. I saw you continue praying when the answers seemed far away. I noticed every act of faith that others overlooked, and not one of those moments has been wasted, because I am the God who causes all things to work together for the good of those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Remember Joseph, who received a dream from God but then found himself betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and forgotten in prison. From a human perspective, every chapter of his life looked like failure, yet every painful step was leading him toward the palace where my purpose would finally be revealed. If Joseph had only looked at the prison walls, he would have believed that his story was over, but I was writing a greater ending than he could imagine. Remember David, who was anointed to become king while still a shepherd boy, yet years passed before he ever sat upon the throne. During those years, he faced danger, rejection, loneliness, and countless battles, but every challenge prepared him to become the leader I had called him to be. Remember Abraham, who waited year after year for the promised son while his body grew older, and the promise seemed more impossible with every passing season. Yet I remained faithful, because what I promise I always fulfill in my perfect time. Remember Hannah, whose tears filled the temple as she cried out for a child while others misunderstood her pain. But I heard every prayer and answered her with a miracle that changed history. Their stories were not written merely for the past. They were preserved to remind you that I have always been faithful to those who trust me through seasons of waiting. My timing has never failed, and it will not fail you now. Do not measure my faithfulness by the calendar. Measure it by my unchanging character. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. If I opened the Red Sea for Moses, if I shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, if I raised Lazarus after 4 days in the tomb, if I brought my son Jesus Christ out of the grave in resurrection power, then I have more than enough power to accomplish what concerns you today. The delay has never been greater than my ability. The obstacle has never been stronger than my promise. The mountain standing before you has never been higher than my authority. While you were waiting, I was arranging details you could not see. I was protecting you from doors that would have harmed you. I was closing paths that would have distracted you. I was aligning circumstances, preparing hearts, opening opportunities, and removing obstacles before you even knew they existed. What you called unanswered prayer was often my loving protection because I knew what lay beyond the door you wanted me to open. You only saw today's disappointment, but I saw tomorrow's danger. You only saw the immediate desire, but I saw the eternal purpose. Trust that my wisdom reaches farther than your understanding. My plans are always higher than your plans, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I have not forgotten the promises I placed within your heart. I have not overlooked the dreams inspired by my spirit. The vision I gave you is still alive, even if it appears delayed. Do not confuse waiting with abandonment. A seed buried beneath the soil is not dead, it is developing. The roots grow long before the fruit becomes visible. In the same way, I have been establishing unseen foundations in your life so that when the blessing arrives, it will endure. Had the blessing come earlier, it might have collapsed under the weight of unprepared circumstances, but now I have been strengthening what cannot be seen so that what becomes visible will stand firm. Continue trusting me even when emotions fluctuate. Continue believing my word when circumstances suggest otherwise. Continue walking in obedience even when the path seems uncertain, because faith is not built by what your eyes can see, but by confidence in the one who never lies. Every prayer offered in faith has been gathered before me. Every tear has been remembered. Every act of obedience has been recorded. Nothing surrendered to me is ever wasted. Your story is not ending in disappointment because I am the author and finisher of your faith. The chapter called waiting is giving way to a chapter called fulfillment. The season of preparation is making room for the season of manifestation. What once felt impossible will become a testimony of my goodness, and those who witnessed your struggle will also witness my faithfulness. Therefore, lift up your head, strengthen your heart, and refuse to let hopelessness speak louder than my promises. I am still the God who opens doors that no one can shut, makes a way where there seems to be no way, brings beauty from ashes, and restores what was lost. Hold tightly to my word, because my promises do not expire with time. What I have spoken over your life remains true, and what I have begun I will bring to completion. The delay is ending, not because of your strength, but because of my grace. The breakthrough is approaching not because circumstances suddenly changed, but because my appointed time is drawing near. Stay faithful, stay prayerful, stay humble, and keep your eyes fixed on me, for the waiting season was never a punishment, but a preparation, never evidence of my absence, but proof that I was carefully crafting a future greater than you could imagine. And very soon you will look back on these difficult days and realize that every moment of waiting was leading you to a blessing that only my perfect timing could have produced. And when that day arrives, you will declare with confidence that the Lord was faithful all along, that His promises never failed, and that His love carried you safely through every delay until the moment He said, "Now is the time." My beloved child, while you believed nothing was happening, heaven was never standing still. Even in the moments when your prayers seemed to disappear into silence, I was working in ways your eyes could not perceive and your mind could not comprehend. You measured your situation by what you could see, but I have never been limited by what is visible. I am always working behind the scenes, arranging events, preparing people, opening unseen doors, and removing hidden obstacles before the blessing ever reaches your hands. There were conversations taking place that you knew nothing about. Opportunities were being formed that had not yet appeared before you. Battles were being fought in the spiritual realm that you could never have seen with your natural eyes. While you wondered why the answer had not arrived, I was making certain that when it came, it would be complete, lasting, and filled with my perfect purpose. My timing is never late, even when it feels delayed to you. I do not rush, because I see the end from the beginning. I know every detail of your future, every challenge you will face, every victory you will celebrate, and every lesson that will shape your heart. That is why I ask you to trust me, not only when you understand my ways, but also when my plans remain hidden. Faith grows strongest when it chooses to believe before the evidence appears. You may not have noticed it, but I have already begun moving pieces into place. Some doors that once remained tightly shut are beginning to loosen. Some people who were never meant to remain in your life have quietly stepped away, making room for those who will encourage, strengthen, and walk with you according to my purpose. Some delays that frustrated you were actually protecting you from relationships, opportunities, and decisions that would have pulled you away from my best. I have been guarding your future even when you questioned my silence. There were moments when you prayed for something that seemed good, but I saw what was hidden beneath the surface. Because I love you, I refused to give you what would eventually harm you. You called it disappointment, but I called it protection. You called it rejection, but I called it redirection. You called it a closed door, but I called it my mercy leading you towards something far greater. Never underestimate what I accomplish through the doors I choose not to open. My child, I want you to remember the words of Ecclesiastes, where it is written that I make everything beautiful in its time. Notice that it does not say in your preferred time or according to your schedule. It says in my time because I alone know when every piece of the puzzle is ready. A farmer does not become discouraged because the harvest is not visible the day after planting. He understands that growth is taking place beneath the soil. In the same way, your life has been developing in ways you could not see. The roots of your faith have been growing deeper. Your dependence upon me has become stronger. Your character has become more refined. Your compassion for others has increased because you understand what it means to wait. The patience you thought was weakness has actually become one of your greatest strengths. Every season has produced something valuable inside you. Nothing has been wasted. Even your tears have watered the ground for the harvest I have prepared. My word declares in Romans that all things work together for the good of those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Notice that I did not say all things are good. Some experiences have been painful. Some losses have been heartbreaking. Some disappointments have left deep scars. Yet I can weave every experience together into a testimony that displays my goodness and my faithfulness. The enemy intended to discourage you, but I will use those same moments to strengthen your witness. What tried to break your spirit will become the very reason someone else finds hope. What looked like defeat will become evidence of my victory. The enemy only sees today's struggle, but I have already written tomorrow's triumph. Do not believe the lie that nothing has changed simply because you cannot yet see the result. Often the greatest miracles begin long before they become visible. Before the Red Sea opened, I already knew exactly how I would deliver my people. Before David defeated Goliath, I had already been preparing him through battles with lions and bears. Before Lazarus walked out of the tomb, I already knew resurrection power would be revealed. Before Joseph stood before Pharaoh, I had already positioned him through every painful chapter of his journey. The miracle always begins before people recognize it. The breakthrough starts in places hidden from human eyes. That is why you must continue trusting even when your circumstances seem unchanged. There are signs that your breakthrough is drawing near, and one of the greatest signs is the peace I have been placing within your heart. You may still face uncertainty, yet somehow you have begun sensing a quiet confidence that I am near. That peace is not an accident. It is my spirit reminding you that I remain in control. Another sign is your growing hunger for my presence. You desire prayer more than panic. You seek my word more than the opinions of the world. Your faith has become deeper than your fear. This is not a coincidence. I have been preparing your heart for the next season. You may also notice unexpected opportunities appearing where none existed before. Small beginnings often announce great blessings. Never despise what seems insignificant because I delight in using small steps to accomplish extraordinary purposes. One conversation, one phone call, one meeting, one decision, one act of obedience can become the turning point that changes everything. Continue walking faithfully in the ordinary because I often reveal extraordinary blessings through simple acts of obedience. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Their timeline is not your timeline, and their calling is not your calling. I have designed your path according to my perfect wisdom. Comparison steals joy because it causes you to focus on what others have instead of recognizing what I am preparing specifically for you. Keep your eyes fixed on me, not on the progress of those around you. Your blessing does not depend upon someone else's success. I have more than enough grace, favor, provision, and opportunity for every child who trusts me. What I have prepared for you cannot be stolen by another person because my plans are personal and my promises are secure. My child, I know you have grown tired at times, but do not allow weariness to convince you to quit when you are so close to the fulfillment of my promise. Many people abandon hope just before the breakthrough appears because they mistake silence for absence. Do not make that mistake. I am nearer than you realize. I have gone before you, and I continue walking beside you. Every delay has served its purpose, and now the season is beginning to shift. The pieces are coming together. The prayers are being answered. The doors are beginning to open. Continue to worship me before the miracle arrives. Continue to thank me before the answer becomes visible. And continue to trust my heart even when you cannot yet trace my hand. Very soon you will understand why I asked you to wait. And when you see how perfectly I have arranged every detail, you will discover that my plan was far greater than anything you could have imagined. Your breakthrough is no longer just a distant hope. It is drawing closer with every step you take in faith, because I have been working behind the scenes all along, and what I have prepared for you is about to become visible in ways that will leave no doubt that it was my hand and my faithfulness that brought you into this new season. My beloved child, the time has come for you to lift your eyes with expectation, because I am calling you into a new season, a season where faith will replace fear, hope will overcome discouragement, and my promises will begin to unfold before your very eyes. The waiting that once seemed endless is giving way to movement. The silence that tested your patience is making room for the sound of breakthrough. Do not remain trapped in yesterday's disappointments, because I am doing a new thing, and it is already beginning to spring forth. Can you not perceive it? I have been preparing this moment long before you ever realized it was near. Every prayer you prayed in tears, every act of obedience that no one noticed, every decision to trust me instead of giving up has brought you to this very point. You are not standing here by accident. You have arrived at a divine appointment that I established before you even took your first breath. Therefore, do not allow fear to keep you from stepping into what I have prepared. The same God who sustained you through the valley will also lead you into the victory. The same hand that carried you through the storm will now guide you into peaceful waters. The same voice that comforted you in your darkest nights will now speak words of direction, favor, and blessing over your life. I know the disappointments you still remember. I know there are moments when the pain of past failures tries to convince you that nothing good could possibly happen now. But I say to you, release the weight of yesterday because it has no authority over the future I have planned for you. Forgive those who wounded you, not because they deserved it, but because I refuse to let bitterness become a chain that keeps you from your blessing. Lay down the regrets that continue to steal your peace. Stop replaying the mistakes that I have already forgiven. When I forgive, I do not hold your past against you, so do not continue holding yourself captive to what my grace has already covered. Walk forward in freedom, because whom the Son sets free is free indeed. My grace is greater than your failures. My mercy is stronger than your guilt, and my love reaches farther than your greatest weakness. This is not the hour to live with a defeated spirit. This is the hour to stand with confidence, knowing that I go before you. You have spent enough time questioning whether you are worthy. Remember that your breakthrough is not earned by perfection. It is received through my grace. I have chosen you, not because you have never stumbled, but because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. I delight in taking what the world considers ordinary and using it to reveal my extraordinary power. Do not underestimate what I can accomplish through a willing heart that is fully surrendered to me. I am opening doors that no one will be able to close. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin appearing before you. Relationships that honor me will strengthen your journey. Wisdom will guide your decisions. Peace will guard your heart. Favor will surround you like a shield. Provision will arrive at the appointed time. Healing will flow into places where pain once lived. Restoration will replace what seemed permanently lost. Some blessings will come quietly, while others will arrive so unexpectedly that you will stand in awe of my goodness. Do not be surprised when I exceed your expectations, because I am able to do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine according to my power that is at work within you. Yet even as I bless you, remain humble before me. Never forget the seasons that taught you dependence upon my presence. Let success never replace your gratitude. Let abundance never replace your compassion. Let influence never replace your humility. Continue seeking my face more than my gifts, because the greatest blessing you will ever receive is my presence walking with you every day. When your breakthrough comes, use it as an opportunity to glorify me and to encourage those who are still waiting for their own miracle. Tell them that I remain faithful. Tell them that I never abandon my children. Tell them that my promises always come to pass in the right season. Your testimony will become a light for someone walking through darkness. The tears you once cried will become evidence that I can turn sorrow into joy. The battles you survived will become proof that my strength is sufficient. There will be people who look at your life and wonder how you found peace in difficult circumstances. Tell them it was not your own strength, but my faithfulness. Tell them that I carried you when you were too weak to continue. Tell them that my grace sustained you when everything around you seemed uncertain. This is why I allowed your story to unfold the way it did, because I intended to use your life to reveal my glory. Do not fear the future, for I am already there. I know every step you will take, every decision you will face, every opportunity that lies ahead, and I promise to guide those who seek my wisdom with all their hearts. Stay close to me through prayer. Stay rooted in my word. Remain faithful in the small responsibilities I place before you, for those who are faithful with little will also be entrusted with much. Celebrate each blessing with thanksgiving, whether it appears small or great, because gratitude opens your heart to recognize my hand at work in every season. Even if some answers do not arrive exactly as you expected, trust that my plans remain perfect. I never make mistakes. I never overlook my children. I never fail to complete the work I begin. Therefore, refuse to let doubt speak louder than my promises. Refuse to let fear control the decisions that faith should guide. Refuse to allow temporary circumstances to define your eternal hope. Stand upon my word, because heaven and earth may pass away, but my words will never pass away. As you move into this new season, choose each day to walk by faith and not by sight. Expect my goodness. Anticipate my favor. Believe that I am able to accomplish what seems impossible. Continue loving others, serving with humility, and honoring me in every area of your life. Your breakthrough is not merely about receiving blessings. It is about becoming the person I created you to be. I have called you to shine my light, to carry my peace into troubled places, to speak hope to the discouraged, and to remind the world that I am still the God of miracles. So today I declare over your life that fear will not have the final word, disappointment will not write your future, and delay will no longer define your story. I speak peace over your heart, wisdom over your mind, strength over your spirit, healing over your body, restoration over your family, favor over your work, provision over your needs, and joy over every place where sorrow once lived. May every chain of hopelessness be broken, every burden become lighter through my grace, and every step you take be guided by my Spirit. I bless you with courage to move forward, patience to continue trusting, and unwavering faith to believe that what I have promised I will surely fulfill. Walk confidently into this new season, knowing that I am with you wherever you go, and remember always that your breakthrough does not begin the day you see the miracle with your eyes. It begins the moment you choose to trust me completely, for I am the Lord your God. I am faithful to every promise I make, and the good work I have begun in your life, I will faithfully bring to completion. So rejoice, remain steadfast, and keep your heart fixed upon me, because the delay is over, the season has changed, and by my grace your breakthrough starts now.